Missouri. I wanted to introduce you today to some selling techniques that I used as a S&S rep when I was selling for North America. Not only could I sell an S&S contract, but even more importantly was being organized when you sold a contract. And I think your organizational skills are just as important or almost as important as your sales skills. In my PowerPoint presentation, I listed some required reading that could help you sell and teach you how to sell. If you already know how to sell, it'd be good to brush up on your skills. I'm going to show you my presentation today will be on an organizational tactic that I used to sell S&S. I call it the sticky pad presentation, and you can organize it in any manner that you see fit. I would start each quarter by listing out on a sticky pad each one of the accounts that I had to close. And simply on each sticky pad, I would note the name of the company, the PH site number, and the dollar amount that it would close at. I'd also use this sticky pad to help me take notes and keep me organized. So I had for each one of my accounts that I'd be required to close. I also developed different buckets throughout the quarter that would help me stay organized. I'd have items like awaiting SQO approval, reconciled accounts. I'd have my accounts that were going to be closed by the channel. And then of course I'd have my closed accounts. You can organize these into whatever categories or buckets that I'd call it to help you stay organized. And as I had sales progression, I would move each one of my sticky pads into a new bucket as it progressed throughout the quarter. What I found was this helped me stay highly organized, and as I closed out the day and I came back in the beginning of the day, I would be ready to go on my accounts. Any great sports person or anybody who's ever been successful in life will tell you that they always envision themselves doing it before they do the final execution. And what I found is this method always kept me organized, it kept me thinking, and it kept me envisioning what the next step was in the sales progression to help me close my accounts. Again, you can organize these into any category that you feel comfortable with in your sales progression throughout the quarter. As your quarter progresses and you get down to the last couple of days or last couple of hours or weeks, your progression starts to look like this. You've got your original Q3 accounts that I was working on, and as the quarter begins to close, you'll be closing out everything, and all your sticky pads end up being an invoice to closed accounts. What made me pretty dynamic was these last 4 accounts that I hadn't closed. These are where I became almost like what I would call a super freak. I would do anything to close these accounts. These were now my last 4 accounts, and this is what made me different from anybody else. I was going to do unnatural things to get these items to close. Work with my tech team leaders, work with my account managers, work with the brand, but it was almost like a game of musical chairs. We have 4 remaining shares to close, and I would do whatever it took on my sales skills to sell these. And again, I've given you some recommended reading in my PowerPoint slide on how to tactically close those accounts. But these were the 4 last remaining accounts, and I almost became like the Tasmanian devil on closing those accounts.
Don't listen to these people, Ricky. You're a winner. You got the gift. Always remember, you ain't first, you're last.
First, you're last.
See when you're grown up.
Dad! Come back!
Jack, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. You know, I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about? That phrase is trademark, not to use it.